Okay, I'm about to do some more modifications to my car. I'm going to start by taking off the front end, and I'm going to put the uh, Velossa lit kit on, and also the Canard light up Canards on the front, devil claws. So yeah, I'm going to start off by taking off the front end. So the first thing is you just need a couple tools. Some a 10 millimeter here, and a ratchet and a screwdriver, and that's all you need. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take off this panel here, and it just kind of pops right off. And then there's a screw back here that you got to take off. You can see that. And then you're going to take this one off, this little pop out, and this little point here, there's a screw under there. And then you're going to take off these 5 right here, 5 pieces here. Then there's 7 more pop-offs underneath. If you want to look under here, they're right here, and they're just screwdriver pop-offs, and they go around the bottom of the lip here. And if you move over here to the side of the wheel, you have a 10 millimeter bolt right here, and then you have another pop-off right here, and another pop-off right here. And then when I get to that point, I'll show you as I'm popping off the front end to show you where the pop points are. So give me a few seconds and I'll pull these off and I'll get back to you. Alright, I thought I'd show you how one of these pops come off. There's little notches in here, and so you just get the screwdriver underneath here and you just kind of twist and pop up, and then you grab hold of it and just pull it right out. It just pops right out. It's just a little clip in there. So okay, I'll be back. Alright, so I'm going to show you again. You got a screw here in the fender well to pull out. It's a 10 millimeter bolt. Then you have 3 pops here that have to be taken out. And then on the bottom there's show you, there's 6 pop rivets along the bottom that you have to pull out. And then on the top, as I was saying, you have to pull out the screw, the 10 millimeter bolt from back here. You don't have to pull this one out to pull the front end off. And then you have 5 pops right here on the top to pull out. Once you get all those out, you come over here to the side of the front end, and you can see right here, you just kind of grab it and kind of pull, and there's some pops there. You can pop it out. And then as you're pulling around, you just kind of pull it off. And then up here on the top, there's a little guide right here. So when you pull off the top, you got to kind of lift up here and over that, and then the front end will pop off. And as you can tell, it's all loosened now, so you can pull the front end off. I got both sides popped. The other thing you got to watch out for is when you pull this off, there's a connector. I'm going to do this really quick. When you pull off the front end, there is a connector right here for the front wiring housing. So you want to make sure you disconnect that and don't let the front end drop, because you'll pull that wire out. Okay, after I got that out, oh, actually I'm going to show you, because it's it was tricky. I didn't understand it the first time I tried to pull it out. There's a little clip lever right here, and so you got to pull the clip lever down and away, and it pops out, and then from there you grab the housing and you can slide it out. All right, so now the front end's all disconnected, and you just grab it and pull it away. The front end's exposed. I'll be back in a second and show you what's next. Okay, I'm going to start by sticking on the Devil's Claw Canards first, lighted ones. So the first thing I had to do is clean the area. First time I used paper towels, and that wasn't a good idea because it left little white specks all over and probably wouldn't adhere very well to the adhesive. So I suggest using like a terry cloth, like something like this, and wiping it down and getting it really clean. And I will be back to start installing in just a second. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do, you're going to unpackage them, and the Canards are going to come like this in the package. And what you're going to do is you're going to get the right side for the one you're installing, and you're going to take these bundles off of here, and you're going to feed it through the vents, and you want to feed it through the second vent from the top and the second vent from the bottom down here, and feed them in there first. And then we're going to peel this back, and then we're going to take the 3M tape off of it, the covers, and then stick it to here. And what you can do is you use the vent guide. There's a little mounts right here that hook onto this right here in the middle. And so what you want to do is set it on there first with the 3M tape off, and then slowly stick it onto here and press it and make sure it seats properly and it's nice and firm and stuck on there. Alright, I'm going to do that part and I'll be back to you. Alright, the next step for the Canards is you're going to want to flip the front end over, and on the back side we have 1 screw, 2 screw, 3 screws, and then a couple pop outs here to take off this vent so we can get to the wires. And then you're going to pull the wires through, and what I plan on doing is running the wires through this little hole here. And so you're going to need some extra wire too, so you can run them out the hole and run it to the other side and connect them together. You're going to end up connecting them to the headlights on the driver's side. So I would run the wires from the passenger side to the driver's side across the front end, and I'm going to do that now, and I'll be back. Okay, I finished wiring it in. As you can see, I let it out the top like this, and I ran it through this conduit across the front of the grill, and then zip tied it to it so it's not loose. And then I put a couple connectors on the end of it here. And then if we go look at the car, I pulled the headlight out, the connector, and I connected the red wire to the yellow wire and the black wire to the black wire right here on the connectors, and ran it down near the other connector for the front end. And I have a couple connections here, so when I connect them, I will put some black tape or something around them to protect them from water and moisture and grounding each other out. But I'm putting that there so that way when I pull off the front end, I don't have to cut the wires every time I gotta disconnect, where I can just take the black tape off or whatever and put it back on. Alright, so we're going to test it and see how it works now. So I set the front end on here with the wires connected, and before I tape them up I want to make sure everything works, so here goes. Looking good. Got both sides. Canards came on. Alright, so next I'll get busy on installing the ram air induct Velossa lit kit put on the front, and here we go with that. Okay, with the Devil's Canard lights, I just wanted to make sure let everybody know the instructions say to hook the red wire to the yellow wire and then the black wire to the black wire. Well, there's two black wires, and the one you want to connect it to is the black wire with the orange stripe on it. If you don't do that, you'll have problems with your remote start and with just starting your car and turning it off in general. So make sure it's the black wire with the orange stripe. Also, if you have a remote start, the remote start won't work unless you shut the hood. I found that out the hard way. So yeah, if you're testing out the lights and everything and you're trying to start the car with a remote start, the car will not turn on with the hood open. Alright, I got the lit kit installed, and I just wanted to show you how I installed it. So I have the wire running up here, and I put a mount here with a little clip, and then I put another clip here. Then I connected the longer wire here. Then I ran it underneath here, put another clip here, ran it over here, put another clip here. Now the other guy said to run the wire through here with the grommet, but I didn't want to run it next to anything that was hot, so I actually ran the wires underneath here, underneath the headlight, and there's a hole right underneath the headlight, and you can get through there, and then it comes into here, and then I ran the wire directly up here, and I connected the Bluetooth box to it right here. And then I connected all the wires, and I mounted the ground here like they had said on this little tiny bolt right here. So I mounted the ground there, ran the hot wire up here to the fuse box, and they didn't show where to connect it, but I figured out that in the box here there's a few open slots, and the one right above the yellow one, there's a, I'll pull this out. So as you can see, there's two empty slots right above the yellow one. I plugged it into the one right above the yellow one, and I got power to the lights. Oh, and this little dual fuse, all you need is the top fuse in there to run to the wire. The bottom one's for another accessory. And there you go. I'm going to plug it back in. And if you look, the lights are on, working great. So I'm going to button the front end up and put it all back together now. And thank you for watching this part, and I'll move on to the next project in a second. I also forgot to mention that you need to download Diode Dynamics app in order to run these. They come on as soon as I plug them in, but you can turn them off with the app once you connect to them through the Bluetooth. Alright, so this is what it looks like with the Devil Canards installed, and also the Velossa lit kit on the front. Looking darn good.